This is Kirtie Ramdas at the Darbar Festival in London in conversation with Ustad Baha'ud'din Dagar for DesiYUP. I just saw the lovely performance with Rudra Veena, and I actually wondered, what was it in your life that you thought, I have to play the Rudra Veena?
I never thought I had to play the Rudra Veena. My father told me, you should play the Rudra Veena. Because when you go to learn something with a teacher, I don't think one doesn't have that much understanding of what is right for his kind of nature, attitude, aptitude, whatever. So when I wanted to learn music, I said I want to learn music, and then I asked what I should do. Should I do vocal or sitar or surbhar or Rudra Veena? My father said, you do the Rudra Veena. I said, okay, fine. So you don't choose.
You don't choose.
No, in the Guru Shishya tradition, you don't choose.
No.
The teacher chooses for you.
But at a certain age, you will fall in love with the instrument, or not?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Why not? You spend time with somebody, you fall in love with that person.
Well, what is it that you like about the Rudra Veena?
Everything. Everything. Tell me one thing I don't like. The best of all, it has the ability to create detail of to half a micronote. So I can just play around with the structure. I can play around with the formation, change the size of the DNA. I can do something. Something which is not possible on some other instruments. And especially in this form, in the Drupad style, the Rudra Veena, even though it's within a framework, you can bend. You can really bend it back.
Because there is no any instrument like that. Could you?
No.
No.
No. They say voice is the king, then Veena is what measures it. So that's what normally say. I say it everywhere. But it gives you, it's like a computer, you know, it will measure every little thing you do. Why not, why this, why that. So it has a capacity to detail everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I like. I like detail.
You can go into detail with the Rudra Veena.
Yeah, you can spend your time, hours and hours, just thinking about just 3 notes and just doing detail, arranging them, rearranging them.
Because when I saw you performing just now, I thought, when you're performing, what are you thinking or what are you feeling at the moment that you're really into that music?
I'm thinking when I'm striking a note, should I bend it forward? Should I oscillate it? What if I bend it forward? How much time should I go until the next stroke or the next note? So it's a very practical decision you have to make on the stage. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be wrong in the rag.
Sure.
If you're very practical and very alert in what you're doing, then you can push one rag to the boundary of another rag, where it seems like another rag, but it isn't. And people will say, it feels like that, but it is not. It feels like that, but it is not. And it's a nice game.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it expands your vision of how to improvise the rag.
But it's never that you're busy and then your mind wanders off to somewhere else. I don't know. Because when I listen to your music, it makes me feel like as if I'm going to another place. I'm not in that room anymore because you listen to it.
It's the sound of the Veena is like that.
Yeah.
The Veena sound is very captivating. The Veena is known as a yantra. Yantra is not a... It is much more than an instrument. Yantra is something which you do sadhana or riyaz on. Yantra is something which draws you into, and you forget the self.
Yeah.
That is the sound of the Veena. It's also a very primal sound. It's one of the oldest instruments of India.
If you look at the Veena, it contains 2 vessels and 8 strings, if I saw it right.
Yeah.
And it's bimanually played.
Yes.
Right? What did I not see? What's there more to tell about the Rudra Veena? Because obviously, this was the first time I saw it, so...
Well, what you didn't see is I was not playing on the frets. I was playing in between the frets. So all the notes were either augmented or diminished.
Okay. Yeah.
You heard it, but you didn't realize it.
No, I didn't realize it. And you have the lower vessel and the higher vessel?
And from the tube, there are 2 holes into the lower pumpkin and the higher pumpkin.
Yeah.
And the lower notes come from my left-hand side. So when the audience is singing, their right-hand side. And sometimes the sound, when you strike, the sound moves from the tip of the stem to down and into the vessel and back into it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of resonance.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah. And almost, it's like there's no other instrument that's by manually, like a string instrument, is there?
Uh, Earlier it used to be the tanpura before the veena. Tan means saregamapadani and pura is complete. So it's like a carpet of notes. And both the tanpuras are playing, they give you ideas, overtones. And from that you listen and you do this. No, there used to be a predecessor of the veena, which was with a small tumba. They kept it on the chest and a dandi with the peacock also at the end. But they use a stick. It was a fretless thing and use a stick to play it. There is a picture of Goddess Saraswati with that instrument from 8th century.
Yeah. But that isn't in use anymore, right? That instrument.
They use it in Thailand.
In Thailand?
Yes.
All right.
I saw somewhere, I forgot what it's called, but they use it in Thailand. It's very pretty sound.
And the Rudra Veena, how old is that approximately?
Well, see, it says that it was made by Lord Shiva. So, but it's around 8th century somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it has evolved from something else. How and when it came, there is no history, but there is a lot of mythology attached to it. Shiva's instrument, the long stems, the Shiva's hands, the frets are the bangles of Parvati, the strings are the hair of Shiva, the 7 pegs are the 7 constellation of 7 stars, the Saptarishi, the peacock is the vehicle of Goddess Saraswati, the bridge itself is Saraswati, each of the resonators are Brahma and Vishnu.
Wow.
So when they make it, they do a lot of they do puja and all that, and then they start making it. It's a very auspicious instrument. It was used for yagyas, for ceremonies and special occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an accompanying or as the main instrument.
In the beginning, it was accompanying, and then it grew on its own as an instrument.
Do you feel like at this moment the Rudra Veena doesn't get enough attention by the common audience because it's not that well known, but it should be?
It never got so much attention.
No.
No, they were always lesser Veena players. And the rest of the sitar families and the sarod families and the rabab families have learnt from the Rudra Veena schools. So there was Bandi Ali Khan, whose student was Murad Khan, who had a lot of students of sitar and everything else. So the rest of the students, it's like the mother instrument.
Yeah.
And whatever is there is fine. There are now 10 Rudra Veena players in the world. And that's about it.
Thank you very much for your time.